cannot get overconfident, right? I mean, yes, it's nice to have that competitive advantage being one map over, but it can't mean that, you know, you're just playing against bots, right?
And I really like the lockbox picks coming out of the Defendants because it nullifies the aim advantage of NOTOFAST to a certain extent. And we saw them being pretty chaotic on Chamber and Covenant. And this is a map where you can play a bit more tactical and you can slow it down. And that might give them a chance to settle it and get a foot in the game.
That's the best map analysis we've had all day.
That's
well
why
done.
I'm here, boys.
Well done. Yes, very, very nicely done. Well, keep in mind this is a winners matchup, so the winner advances on. They've made it to Saturday. They're going to be battling for a part of that $1 million. The loser, not out yet. They get one more chance to move on. But of course, they've got to face another tough opponent to do so. And then we will know all of the folks that are entering out of Group B. And it looks like we are ready to get this game started. So let's shoot it to the casters.
Thank you very much, Marcus and the gang. Zoot, I got to pressure you for your prediction.
I'm in a similar boat to ZSX. My heart or my mind, I'm not sure which way to go, but I think NOTOFAST probably will eke it out, maybe 51 out of 100 times.
Well, let's see whether that proves true. First frag will go against Deus there in the hands of Mr. Avalone, and then we'll see a whole bucket full of frags coming through the middle there.
Absolutely, Sol's being taken. It looks like NOTOFAST are going to be able to lock it down towards Obelisk B. That is Toxic, and we were talking about him a lot earlier. Hopefully, we'll get to see. Well, he has actually got the lightning gun now, so let's see if he can get into a fight and start dishing out that damage. Quad damage will be up soon, and how much damage will he get right now?
Well, right on cue. Yeah, right on cue. He does all the damage to 3 straight people. Quad's going to get picked up as well, and it's Noctis who has it.
Noctis again, he is the Anarchy player exclusively for the NOTOFAST team. There is the Soul taken down at the bottom, trying to find something to do to the support, but it looks like all of the enemy team have been wiped, so they're going to be entering through the lower and the upper. Noctis looking with the quad to get some extra damage out, but I think the Defendants are kind of relaxing a bit and are trying to wait to time an attack.
And here they go now. A few rockets being rained down by Tox here as he tries to stop anyone coming through. And there are going to be Too Good with a double frag there. And will get himself and his team away with the Soul. And opportunity for Deus to run that Soul away. Here's someone shooting down the back, picks up 225s, hops out of harm's way, but is going to make it to his team's base. And then eventually will go down at the hands of Toxic. But great run from Deus.
Yeah, perfect run. Managed to get away, scraping to the left and right to dodge a little bit, and getting a few percentage points on the Obelisk as well. Going to be pressured as well. We've got 2 dinosaurs fighting each other, both in-game and outside, I'm sure. And Noctis now going to be able to bring it back over to Obelisk B. Gets the health bubbles, a great rocket jump, and just demonstrating the speed potential with Anarchy.
Nice move from him, and he will set himself up to defend against the incoming Defendant who pushes through. As there are in fact 2 players there. Too Good with the rail, slices Noctis in half. Faz picks himself up 2 frags for his Trololo. And there will be the next. It's Tox and Ned LG. I think the panel set Mr. Quick up perfectly for this, as we are seeing a lot of him. And Sturmy not too shabby with it either, and he never was. He was a fantastic hit scan player. And you'll see Sturmy on point as well. So, 57% on the board already for NOTOFAST.
Let's see this protection about to be taken. It's up in 2 seconds' time. Who's going to be braving that jump across here on Lockbox? And I think we see it there, Des. The magic weekend up. No, Ranger. And is that Apex that possibly would have grabbed it just then? And he has got it. He's going to kill himself, going to pass it over to Deuce. And he's going to be able to get a run of it and try to make an attack out of this. We've got all the NOTOFAST players starting to move towards that base. He's going to take that upper entrance. And he has got support there from teammate. Well, his teammates are just going down. Price has just got to do nothing. He's trying to make something out of it, but it's just not worked out at all. This is really dominant from NOTOFAST.
Yeah, this doesn't look like a heart versus head type of result. This looks like an absolute battering. And, well, NOTOFAST are in control of this, 93% to 12. And they will lose their soul momentarily in the hands of Avec, and Avec will get away and run into trouble. And it's going to be Rockets waiting for him, showing the shape of Sturmy, who picks up that. Faz has himself a frag as well, and in the end, Sturmy kills himself. Faz helps himself to another, and the soul will be collected and will be returned home.
Yeah, I see the Crusher trying to look for a good route. There is going to be Tox right in front of him. 19 health left. He is going to be able to get onto the obelisk first. Needs to heal up a little bit as that injection is not going to be up for a while. I think the first rocket went through the legs, but he landed the next one directly.
Now it will be Soul picked up. Noctis is going to be the one to escort it. He's got 2 players there for him. There's 1 LG player waiting to try and take it out, but 1 versus 3 and another 1 versus 3 waiting for him. And you can see the Defendants not really in unison, as Toxic will move it away, put that Soul down, and now should just about take control of this and see us home.
Yeah, so there is a last attack here from the Defendants. It is at 99%. If NOTOFAST can eliminate them all, then they should be able to see themselves get that first round. We have got Too Good pressuring a little bit more. Deuce bring it back over to the point. And there is Avik. He just gone down as well. Is there going to be enough time?
Well, the Soul
Just about.
Picked up. What I liked there was whoever picked it up went underneath to avoid the gunfight entirely, and then got himself involved. One was ready, but there it is. The 100% is up, and it will be map number 1 to NOTOFAST, and to NOTOFAST, and that really was quite fast.
Yeah, it was actually, and I feel that maybe my prediction was maybe slightly ambitious in favor of the Defendants. I honestly do still feel that they've got the capabilities to pressure NOTOFAST a lot more than they are at the moment, but that was definitely demonstrated very, very easily from NOTOFAST. I wonder, though, if they're going to be able to do the same again here, moving into round 2 and just pick up that first easy map.
Well, I'm going to ask you the question I asked you last time. What should they do differently?
Well, I think that some of the aim that we've been seeing from NOTOFAST has been absolutely extreme. The coordination is generally what it all comes down to, and who is going to be succeeding in the midst of the chaos happening on the map. And that is Noctis bringing it back for NOTOFAST at the beginning. They were first on the obelisk before, and first again. Now let's see how the Defender. It'll be interesting to understand how they are coordinating themselves between the different routes they've got into Obelisk B's base.
Quad picked up there and will be moved away. Toxic and Noctis both have a frag. Quad's on board here and will be moved quickly. Reinforcements, not really that Toxic mown down though in the end, and now reinforcements are there to escort that quad in, and let's see whether it can be used. Faz gets picked off as well, and the Soul has been taken. It's been dropped though, and now there's an opportunity to move with the quad to get that out of there, and 3 players lining in wait though for it.
Yeah, look at that. They're lining right in the middle of where they need to go in order to bring it back to Obelisk A. And then there's just no way forward from them. Let's see who's got the Obelisk at the moment. I think NOTOFAST did pick it up last. They're going to throw it inches closer to the base. And that's it. They respawned on the other side of the map. And they're just lining up. They said, right, I'm going to pick up the lightning gun. I'm going to pick up any kind of armor there is. And now it gives Defenders the job that they've got to wipe the team again in order to clear the way to the base.
Sturmy having a party with his rail, picks up 3 frags, and then more for him as he just reins in from afar, sniping away, and will look for number 4, has just placed the Soul back in as well, and he will use that and just sit himself down and try to pick up anyone coming in.
Gauntlet coming in as well. There's going to be a frag, but Too Good manages to escape a little bit, runs into the dinosaur, and you're not going to be able to walk through that. Faz delivering it back safely. Injection just used by Chrysler.
Sturmy now has 5 unanswered frags as he goes looking for number 6. Has reinforcements to help him here as well as he's gauntleting out. Deuce goes down. The next opportunity for the rail will go through. Sturmy is on fire here. I think that's 7 or 8 unanswered from him.
Yeah, who can stop this absolute monster? He's got 20 seconds until his ability's up, but he might keep a hold of that until we approach that power-up spawning soon. And again, you can see at the top when those abilities are available for all the players on the server. And at the moment, you can see that you've got 3 abilities available for Defenders. There are 2 there for NOTOFAST. And I think Quad there was just taken by one of the teammates just then. And we can see, I see a Sorlag with it. It's Deuce.
Deuce picks himself up the frag onto Faz and now is raining shots down. See whether one of his teammates can get in. and Sturmy will help himself. I think he might be in double digits now as Pricey goes down. Finally, Deuce gets that kill, and in it will go. He will toss that, Deuce will toss that soul out, and will pass it to his teammate, then look to guard his teammate, but who's left alone? Noctis is the one leading that charge.
Yeah, they managed to take down Chryso. He was trying to run away, use that Anarchy speed, but Noctis gonna bring it back. They just chased him completely. As soon as they spot one of the Defendants players escaping, they're coordinating flawlessly in order to get everyone to chase. And this even is a Defendants map pick. And you can see what NOTOFAST are doing. They're 86% to 0 at the moment. The first round didn't seem too difficult, and this one seems even easier for them.
Well, there's a lot of experience. Well, there's a lot of experience on both teams, but this NOTOFAST team, they really have more stage experience than I think any team you could put together right now. And that may be what's aiding this. They are warmed up and ready to go. They got in a couple days ago, and they just look so comfortable and so at home. And they have been practicing all morning. Both teams have been. They've got plenty of areas to warm up and get warm for this, but
definitely, they've had a match each as well to really to get used to everything, get used to the environment. And we are going to get a few percentage points. So we're not going to get the 100 to 0 that I thought we were about to receive. Deuce doing some work for his team, trying to wipe away that NOTOFAST team for the moment. And as you can see at the top left, we are seeing the blue names on top. We have got the power up there in 5 seconds. It is going to be protection spawn. This could be very, very decisive. If NOTOFAST get this, then I don't think Defendants will last too much longer. And it's Sturmy with it.
Here we go. We are on board with him as he leads that charge through. And Obelisk A is being contested, and the soul has been taken. Sturmy will be the man to run that home with the protection that should just push him all the way home to that obelisk, as he will take care of one other person on the way. It's Chryso who goes down at the hand of those 2 rockets, and Sturmy in the end will push that obelisk in.
But just a couple of seconds left on protection. This should give one more chance to the Defendants to have an attack onto Obelisk B. There is going to be Sturmy going down. A couple of frags going in favor of Defendants, but they need to get the pressure. There's throw. Deuce is right in position in order to receive it. He's going to be strafing across. There is a teammate getting, an opponent getting in the way, but he passes it to the next player. This should enable them to get it back to base. Doing very well to survive through the protection that Sturmy had.
Yeah, on board with Faz as the Defendants do push up a last gasp defense. They've got points being scored on the board now, and we're on board with Faz as he mows through one. Sturmy will help out with the frag onto Deus as well. Faz on 2 good, and now that soul has been stolen, and Defendants 42% will be all they can muster. This could be the end for the Defendants on this map.
Some nice rockets being worked on this then, and we've got pressure once more. Deuce again doing amazingly for his team. It would be seriously impressive if the Defendants could bring it back when I believe NOTOFAST are on 99%. There we are, Chryso trying to bring it back. There is Tox getting in the way. He's trying to do some damage at the moment. The pummel trying to come out, but he is killing almost everybody. Noctis eventually takes him down. Was solo, but uses that injection and trying to run over to middle.
It's Too Good from behind, he gets picked up. Oh! Triple gauntlet, Too Good, Deus in the back, all wiped out. And that is going to be that. Surely now, as NOTOFAST have got the 100%. And what a way to finish a map.
Tox with the triple pummel, closing that one out. That was impactful just there. Just as it looked like even the Defendants were starting to build their confidence in that round a little bit. Yeah, I think Tox will be pretty chuffed with that.
There is the token snooze from a Swede on camera there. It wouldn't be an event without seeing that from a Swedish player.
Yeah, he's topping up right now and exactly bringing some culture over here.
Let's take a look at what Sturmy had to offer in that game. He was on fire. Walk us through this, Zook.
Yeah, I mean, it's just him with the rails. I know that he's been feeling not so confident on this most recent update, but when you're watching him over here, it just seems like it's too easy for him. He's been so famous throughout his career from just having unbelievable hit scan aim.
Yeah, we don't have the stats quite in front of us, but I'm pretty sure he went 10 frags unanswered, and he just sat back with that rail and offered like long-range defense and picked off player after player, allowing the rest of his team to get up close and personal. Nice play from Mr. Avalone.
Absolutely. Now let someone else get some of that time on the kill feed as well. Moving over into Ruins now, which is going to be NOTOFAST map. Defendants probably going to be swallowing their pride a little bit, having lost that one in a pretty devastating way, to be honest. I'm glad that we didn't see the 100-0, but it wasn't really much of a level up beyond that. I don't really see... I'm going to scratch my prediction completely beforehand. It does not seem like it's going to be closer whatsoever. And maybe in the back of people's minds, they're already thinking, well, not too fast. Surely you've got 2Z if they're performing this way. This is already like we're waiting for that match in the finals. Probably speaking a little bit too soon, but we're going to have to change things up a little bit, and the defendants are going to have to be a bit more coordinated. There are moments, there are fragments of excellence from them, but we need them to put that together.
Well, as we wait on map number 2 here at QuakeCon, Zoot, this is your 3rd time at QuakeCon, if I'm not mistaken.
You might be mistaken.
Oh,
It's my 6th.
6th?
I'm sorry.
There you go, I got it very
I know
wrong.
I've shared a couple with you, though, so...
It's the 3rd time I've seen you at QuakeCon, let's put it that way. Favorite memory for you as we wait on the players getting ready?
You know what, last QuakeCon was absolutely unbelievable. I think we saw goodbye to Quake Live in one of the most amazing Quake finals I think anybody that the world has ever seen between Evil and Rafa in the duel, having a 28-minute map on Elder. It's definitely a video that I know I've gone back to time and time again to enjoy the atmosphere that QuakeCon always brings us, and that amazing game. I'm really looking forward to seeing this tournament progress and see what kind of amazing, just the gaming and the FPS moments that we experience in Quake, and see what kind of hype we're going to be building on.
Well, we have Duel coming this afternoon as
right.
well. What are you looking forward to there?
Well, we've had a lot of groups made, but the 4th player in every group is from the BYOC. And so the really interesting groups like Group A with Rafa, with Victor, with Cooler in one group, and then seeing, okay, well, who's going to be number 4? And we've got a picture of the BYOC there, absolutely enormous here at QuakeCon, in fact.
There is something special about the QuakeCon BYOC. There is something special about QuakeCon. There is no event quite like this in the world of gaming, world of esports. And there is much hype around esports right now. There is much coming in from the outside that doesn't really know where it came from. And if you want to know where esports came from, it came from here. Much of esports that we know today came from the city of Dallas, came from QuakeCon, came from CPL, came from these type of events where it was these organic, these things that came together organically. No one forced anything upon anyone, and competition spoke for itself, and the best rose and the fans followed. And I think that is something that through as many iterations as Quake has gone through, we have just seen this culture of and this festival of peace, love, and rockets continue to evolve.
No, exactly. This is the heart and soul of it. I know it started way before I was properly immersed into the FPS scene myself, and it only makes me feel worse about not being here to experience it back then. But the way that it's grown as well, and the tournaments have come together, and the way that Quake has always had its space in esports, it's amazing to see it unravel in this new edition of Quake, on Quake Champions. Now, on the early access as well, available on Steam. It's definitely worth getting your hands on that at the moment, because I know I'm gutted. I've got to cast this event, which is such a pain because I've been looking at the game since I've been flying over here, and I've not been able to touch it. And I know there's new skins to go out, there's new champions to play, new maps, and there's so many things that are coming from the game at the moment to be excited about. I cannot wait to get home. Although I would like to stay here a couple more days, I guess.
What would you do with your couple more days?
With my couple more days.
Do you cast a few matches, maybe?
Yeah, a couple. Or maybe annoy DJ Wee on the desk a little bit. Hopefully I'll be able to get out securely by not saying... I mean, at the regionals, it was very much the EU guys were talking about EU and not much about NA. I'm hoping that NA shows something so I can safely escape the arena.
Speaking of talking, this man certainly has a few words to say for himself on camera. The only one of us here today who's been on the front page of Reddit globally.
I know. That's right. Some say that he's an ass, but I know we all love him deep down. He's someone, again, this sort of quintessential Quake personality as well. And there's so many fun things that we've seen from him in the past. And you know what? When Quake Champions comes around and seeing him playing a team, I was like, this is weird. I'm used to him casting. That's what I grew up with in esports, watching him and yourself and DJ Wheat, and I was just like, now we get to see him back to where he was when he was in Quake 4.
Doing the work of, doing God's work is making him look more and more like Jesus every day. That's how you describe Mr. Harding. You're on board there with Toxic, Sturmy, Noctis. much to talk about for Toxic. Let's talk about Noctis.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, he's had some history, and he's some guy who doesn't really feel nerves at all. He'll be playing in the duel as well. I know he feels that he's got nothing to lose, which makes me feel he's going to make a really deep run. But he's also widely regarded as the best TDM player in the world in Quake Live, something that's transitioning very well into Quake Champions on top of that. And he's just always been a player to watch out for. And he kind of he synchronizes all the players in NOTOFAST. He's really the brains of the operation. And making things happen for the team. And you really need someone with that level of experience and just strategic ability to be able to compose that.
Here is Juice, or Deus. He famed for Quake 2, then Iron Fist, TDM, later 4 Kings. And I would love to see him do very well. Dave's has always been one of the nice guys in the scene.
Yes.
And he's I think he was a professional tennis coach in his other life, so competition's already been in his blood. I spoke to Carmack earlier this morning, and he was like, yeah, I spoke to Dave for the first time ever, and his was one of the accents that was just borderline as to whether I could accept or understand. No, Carmack said that of Deuce. Yeah, and to Quake fans who are wondering, Yes Reality's famous Carmack is lurking around here in the background. I'm surprised we haven't seen him on camera yet. I hope we will.
At one point, hopefully. It feels pretty surreal for me as well, seeing him here, delving back into the realm of Quake.
Well, I think he may be the hero esports needs right now. A few Carmack exposés. And I think an article that, I think if you look at the current world of esports and you look for a Carmack article headline from what must have been 2007 or so, which was titled, "Paupers Will Be Kings," I think has been proved quite right. Avec, what is there to say about Avec that we can actually say, that can actually be proven, that can actually be true? Because, boy, have there been some headlines about that young man.
Yeah, well, now that he's in Virtus Pro as well, unfortunately his best buddy Cypher not been able to make it to the event, but he's been taken on board the Virtus Pro team, representing it in Duel, and of course his history is just enormous. And it's not just in Duel as well, he is phenomenal in the team play aspects and doing just incredible things. Looks like we are live now though in map number 2 on Ruins between the Defendants and NOTOFAST. And let's see how we head into the action. Moving over to the first Soul.
There we go, a few rockets being dropped down by Goose there, and see everyone lining up, waiting for it.
Oh, Chrysler is just waiting there with the pummel, and Sturmy did not survive long out of that invisibility. That is going to be the Defendants, though, bringing it back to the lower obelisk and getting themselves on the board early.
Much needed confidence boost for them. Sturmy gets dropped as he tries to make his way in there, and the Defendants will edge up a few percentage points. And this is the first little bit of pressure we'll have felt on NOTOFAST.
That's it. And with the power-up spawning very soon afterwards, we have got the quad that's been taken. And let's see if this is going to have an impact. Avec now looking to defend. Got to be careful though, because NOTOFAST already getting their hands on that Soul. He doesn't want to be chasing too far behind. As you can see, it's pretty much over at the other obelisk already. I think he might have even gone the wrong way, where he's not been able to intercept.
But here is Avec delving a heck of a lot of damage. Nice 160 rocket there. Can he do any more with that LG? He's going to push his way in. And he and his teammates have picked up that Soul and will move it away.
Sturmy now trying to do a little bit of pressure. Can't hit that rail. There's a nice dodging and maneuver just then from Chrysler, and he's going to finish that frag onto Sturmy. Pressure coming back though from Toxic, will die pretty rapidly though.
Defendants have recovered and added a full 10%, if not more, on top of that, on top of their percentage, and now the Soul will be removed from them. It's on board with Noctis, who doesn't have a whole lot of health for comfort, but has been able to put it in for NOTOFAST, and this is a nice tit-for-tat map so far.
Yeah, this is decent. This is more like it at the moment. The Defendants getting some work done, but now it's can they take it back from NOTOFAST? The Vision had a heap of frags from them, and we've still got quite a long time until that protection is going to be up. You want to make sure you're interrupting the progress on the obelisk quite a bit before then.
Rockets being delved by Sturmy here as he and friend Noctis will dispatch of Mr. Harding. Deus goes down as well, and now you will have that LG coming up from Noctis as he dances around that obelisk, and the Soul has been picked up by Toxic, in fact, who will return it. I thought it was Avec who was trying to move that away, but Toxic has pushed it down, and now Toxic and his LG will dispatch. No, they won't. Deuce will get in there, and the two of them are right on top and will take that Soul and toss it away.
Now, at this point, there shouldn't be too much of a focus on the Soul anymore. They've done a great job at bringing it back to base and interrupting the progress that NOTOFAST have had, but you have got to get over to the protection at the moment. Faz and Toxic could be doing amazing work, and they look like they're about to secure it, but Chrysler comes in with some pressure. I think we had Deuce there struggling to make it over the eyeball, but Avec will do work for the Defendants. And let's see what he can do. This is cannot say how important it is. Is that he just passed the Soul Carrier?
Yeah, I think the Soul Carrier is just staying out of view right now. Nice idea. It's
I like
well,
it.
It's like, well, if I can't be found, then there's nothing you can do. And why not? Why not play with 3 whilst someone like Avec has his power up?
He's still hugging the wall over there, I think. I'm not sure who's holding it. His Tox is just standing there. He's like, is the protection done now, guys? Am I allowed to leave? I've got a bit of a stack, but...
Why not? I think this is an excellent idea.
The Defendants are not going to have fun watching this back. Let me just put it that way. They would just moved right past him. And Tox is waiting. He's like, guys, seriously, have you killed him at last? We need to see something. There we are. He's going to be moving a little bit. He makes it out. The obelisk seems to have been cleared up. We've got a bit of pressure over there from Deuce, but nothing that Tox can't handle at this stage. And I like it.
In a new game, there are going to be a lot of those little quirks that you can manipulate to your advantage, and that's exactly what he did. And now he and his LG go on a little rampage, and we're almost up to 50% for NOTOFAST.
I want to say as well, this is a bit maybe what Team Liquid could learn on a little bit. The amount of patience is there from Tox. He's like, he knows that, you know, there's no timer telling him that he's got to get it to the obelisk within 3 seconds, otherwise he's going to implode. He just was patient, made sure that the protection was useless, and eventually carried that Soul back to base.
Now if you borrow, and there we go, Faz will push in a frag there, and a Soul will get picked up momentarily, tossed across, and let's see whether it gets anywhere. Rockets being rained in. Chrysler in the end gets it, but I think it was Juice who was moving it. Chrysler has that obelisk in position now, and he should be able to put some points on the board. To quote DDK earlier, he said the game's about pace, and if you can control that pace, then you can control the match, and 9 times out of 10 you'll win. Although he didn't use any of those words that I've just summarized with. The point that he was making was very much what you saw Toxic play out there.
Yeah, completely. And that's going to be a frustration as well for the Defendants. But let's see, we've got Obelisk up at the top of the map, gathering those points, and now it's got Avec. He's got to put some pressure down, but he needs some teammates with him. There's going to be Too Good in front of him. Trying to get that frag over there, eventually getting enough damage done. But he needs to be able to support that Soul Carrier. There he is.
Soul Calibur is moving away. Soul Carrier is moving away. Avec will push his way through, and it will be an opportunity now for Avec to rain a few rockets in. He and his teammate will dispatch of 2 quick players there from NOTOFAST. And the Defendants are trying to regain a 25% disadvantage right now and have the Soul in the Obelisk to do so.
Now, considering they're now playing on NOTOFAST map pick, they're doing an exemplary job at the moment of getting things done. Trying to clear away all the people coming close, not just looking for a pummel frag. I think that's Tox. He got the Soul away. He's passed it over. Oh, okay. Too Good, just blocking the teleporter exit just with the pummel. I think Faz is thinking twice about moving through that teleporter.
Yeah, and you can see Faz now waiting, and in the end, it's Chrysler will come in and pick him off. Too Good follows up with a rail onto Sturmy. And the Soul is going to... It was going to make its way over towards Chrysler, but it hasn't done so yet. And now that Soul has been passed to Avec, and Avic's going to get himself involved in the fighting here as he will return it back into its position on the obelisk. And more points will go up onto the Defendants here. They're going to tie us up any second now. And this is the closest game we've had all morning.
No, this is amazing work at the moment from Defenders, but we just had, I think that was Tox sneaking away with the Soul just before they were able to tie it up. And we have got a couple of the players in the way, but look at that. We've got the protection up, and very few of the NOTOFAST players are around. Sturmy, though, I think he's a bit early. He's meant to use that Ghost Walk and appear just in time for the power-up. It doesn't seem to matter. It turned out there were even fewer Defendant players.
Yeah, here we go. Sturmy and his LG do dispatch of Deus, and now Sturmy will go to work on number 2. I think it was Too Good he did. And now he will just rain rockets after rockets down in on that base and move it away. And Sturmy is on fire this morning. We'll see what they can do as we're up to 90% for NOTOFAST.
I think that's a very sort of plain and simple error to spot. The power-up play from Defenders cost them a huge amount of points on NOTOFAST Obelisk. and they've just got to defend a couple more times. They need to start pressuring the point a little bit, but it's too late. 100%, not too fast, looking great here in map 2.
Yeah, walk me through what happened there, because that really was a match-winning play, or a map-winning play there by Sturmy on that power-up. Walk me through the 30 seconds we saw.
So it looked like on the setup that we had a couple of the defendant players that were looking very promising in terms of positioning themselves at the power-up. Now Sturmy comes in, and a couple of seconds later has support from a teammate, and they managed to clear basically the whole room. And there was not enough pressure from the defendants on that protection, which causes things like that to happen in the game. You get that, the soul on your obelisk, you get those extra points, and it was enough to carry Not Too Fast into that round win.
Well, we are about to get underway once more, and the soul is ready to rock, as we can see this Faz moving it up into position and into obelisk A.
Yeah, they elected the other obelisk on this occasion, maybe due to ease, maybe due to the defendants on the other side of the map, basically, and didn't want to have to walk past them. They might as well get points. Points mean prizes, especially here.
Don't think you can cope Bruce Forsyth this week.
My apologies.
All right, let's see. It'll be Avec now charging them. There's a rail waiting for him. Don't think it connected. Noctis goes down, but then another rail does. It's Sturmy, and Sturmy has two. Too Good is out for the count as well, and we'll see Faz helping him out as well. Chrysler is the man who's in there, and he gets picked off by Faz. Deus is down, and this is just frag after frag for Not Too Fast.
Yeah, very decent play from them for the moment. We've got a bit of pressure there from Too Good. Eventually gets their soul out, 31% for Not Too Fast, but going to be dragging it back to base. I've got some pressure, and not too much they can deal with. They're just waiting for that quad to time out, and that's when they're going to be able to bite. But I love the forward plays we're getting from the defendants, and actually taking the pressure to them, and forcing the action.
Too Good stuck with a rail in the wrong position for him. And now you'll see Deus going in looking for more with his LG, and did a lot of damage to whoever it was who picked him off. It was Tox in the end, and Chrysler finished off Tox as Noctis picks himself up a kill onto Avec, and now Too Good will go no further than Sturmy. Faz helps himself to a kill as well. And here we go, the soul is changing hands.
Yeah, I can see Faz doing some great work with the lightning gun, and looking to bring it back. Faz, 100 HP, waiting for his teammates to clear the way. And it looks like it's no problem. Oh, 12 health. There was actually a little bit of extra damage at the end, but that's perfect work for Not Too Fast. And I like that Faz was just checking and making sure, okay, are you sure, guys, I can come through? I'm not going to be railed at all. He is playing Soul Ag after all, which is an easy target.
Yeah, and you can see Sturmy in that rail just loves holding the middle area, just sniping anyone who goes up and down those jump pads, and he will not let anyone out easily. And they have to almost dedicate a man to finding him before they can get in. Soul on board with Toxic now.
The LG damage that he's doing, he does get the acid onto him, which will eventually take him down, but you give him half a second of the lightning gun and he is going to be making business happen. We've got Too Good managing to bring it back to the point, but the question at the moment is who's got protection. It is Sturmy. He needs to stop getting distracted by Deuce, because Deuce there, all he's doing is removing valuable seconds. But you know what? You don't even need protection when you've got Tox.
Yeah. And now Sturmy will move from trying to help Tox out, getting it, to defending his own base. And there's no one coming near Sturmy at the moment.
Yeah, they've completely ignored protection. And Sturmy's actually been quite passive with it, but I think in a really intelligent way. Now we've got pressure from Avec at the moment, trying to clear the way. What you've got to watch out for, okay, brilliant, you've done an excellent job at infiltrating the base, but now you've got to watch out. Where are the spawns going to be coming from? Where are you going to have to look out for when you're trying to carry the soul back to your own obelisk?
Yeah, Soul changes hands a few times. Noctis picks up the frag onto Avec, and now you will see incoming Deus trying to clean up, but it's not happening for them at 59% for Not Too Fast, and the defendants are contesting, but they're not contesting the scoreboard enough.
Yeah, we're only 35% away from series victory over here, and direct access to the semi-finals on Saturday. Tox blocking off this choke point nicely. They're not going to be running in through this side. Top middle entrance, and now Tox, he's got the shotgun, he's got the rail. No LG at the moment, but you know what? Starting shotgun seems almost enough for him to get all the work done over here. Rail down, going to have to retick the time on the obelisk, and he's just going to move in with the pummel. Almost gets the frag. Shotgun does some damage, and I think they just brought it back as well.
They did. And you can see that like they're so preoccupied by what's waiting outside the base as they're trying to pick up that soul that, you know, they're unable to get it out with any real time. And here we go, will be Noctis, the raining rockets down. Enemy does pick up that soul and toss it out. Noctis is going to be the one to chase it. Raining rockets again down onto whoever gets out there. It was Chrysler who was there. And they're going to quickly return that obelisk to, that soul to the obelisk. We have just 4% left before Not Too Fast take this game.
He's got to go 99% at the moment. He's got his teammates on it. Now he's got to clear the way. He's got to do all the work he can. He's getting railed from everywhere. And the Mega, he wants to give that to one of the teammates. I think that's Chrysler, who's got the soul, got the quad, and should be bringing it back any second.
And this should be an opportunity, or the last gasp opportunity to save this, as it will be Not Too Fast to push it home. Chrysler is in there, going to contest, but isn't going to get any further. We're up to 100%, and that will be, well, no defense for the Defendants.
No, indeed. I mean, right at the end, it looked like we had a great power-up taken. They were all working together to bring it back to base, but I mean, the counter-attack was almost there before they'd even captured the soul onto the obelisk again. And almost as soon as you could blink, they were back in their own base, and they were finishing off that scoreboard, getting the round and the map and series win.
Who impressed you the most in that game?
You know what, Tox obviously does some great work. I think Sturmy has ever been really effective. It's really tough to pick out one star player on the team. But yeah, I think I'll give it to Tox.
All right. Well, the Defendants have some work to do. They do drop down to the loser bracket, but it's not goodbye to them.